All right. So again, my name is Ebony, and I just want to thank you guys. Just to start off with, I want to thank you guys for participating in this because it is a Saturday morning, and you don't have to be here. So I really do appreciate you guys taking your time and getting valuable information. It's really going to help you for the next 5 weeks of the season. January 1st is going to be here before we know it, and this is a period of time where people tend to gain anywhere from about 6 pounds to almost 20 pounds in just this short time span. And then y'all all know this, you go on Facebook on January 1st and people are talking about their weight loss goals. But what they don't realize is that they could have been avoiding overindulgence during the holiday season from November on. So I'm going to talk to you guys about different ways that I've seen work for me over the years and that some of my clients have used as well. And not only do some of them not gain weight, but they also, in some cases, lose weight without having to give up some of their, special holiday desserts and things that they're used to eating. So I do want to make sure that I address what I planned on talking about today. But if you guys have some questions while we're doing this webinar, just feel free to put your little hand up or put in the chat feature down at the bottom of your screen. Hey, I have a real quick question. I want to make sure that I address your most pertinent questions. Okay. Now, just real quick, tech issues. Once again, if you guys experience tech issues while you're on the call, I don't want you to miss important information. So if you're experiencing tech issues on the call, please make sure that you holler. Rachel, I'm unmuting your line. Are you trying to say something to me?
I was saying I'm ready.
Okay, good. So I'm going to keep you unmuted, but if you want to mute yourself in a few minutes, feel free to do so, okay?
Okay, I just got in the car.
All right, cool. Now, real quickly, I just want to kind of get to know you guys. On a scale of 1 to 10, where do you feel like your stress level is right now? With 1 being pretty much non-existent to 10 being I'm completely stressed out or where I'm pulling my hair out. So the scale is 1 to 10, 1 being almost non-existent to 10 being I'm almost pulling my hair out. Rachel, you can start. Where do you feel like your stress is right now? Can you hear? Rachel, can you hear me?
Yes.
Where do you feel like you're going to start? Where do you feel like your stress is currently on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being non-existent to 10 being almost pulling your hair out?
Well, I'm not non-existent stressed out, but I am in the point where I want to eat. I'm stressing out that I want to eat all this delicious food, but I don't want to gain the weight. So I am like, should I eat? Should I not eat? And then I'm doing so good on my belly, so I'm not sure. That's the stress I'm having right now.
So you say you're doing really well on your belly?
Yes.
Good. That's like most people's trouble area. So good. And if you have some tips that you want to give us a little bit later on, I'll allow you to do so. So right now you feel like you're at about what, like a 1 or a 2?
Yeah.
Okay, good. You said Andrea, right?
I'm Andrea.
Andrea, sorry.
Andrea.
And hi, little beauty. I see a little face in the screen. Andrea, where do you feel like you are on a scale of 1 to 10?
I would say I feel like I'm at about a 9, just because I've been trying to get it together for so long and buy the right things, plan and prep and things like that, and it just kind of falls apart.
Okay. Does that have anything to do with the fact that you got a little one right there too?
Yeah. Yeah.
How is the baby?
He is 6 months old.
Wow.
So 6-month-olds require a lot of attention. Do you have other children as well?
Yes, I have a 14-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 7-year-old.
14-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 7-year-old?
All 4 boys.
Now the 6-month-old.
Yes.
All right. So Andrea is a busy lady. I have a 10-year-old son and a 7-year-old daughter, and that's enough for me right there. So you taking care of 4 of them, more power to you.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Shawanda? Where do you feel like your stress is on a scale of 1 to 10?
I am a 10.
Okay. And what do you feel like contributes the most to that? Do you feel like it's home responsibilities or your job responsibilities or anything else?
It's home. It's home because I have extras in my house now.
Okay.
So
Some people visiting right now, right?
yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. So I know that's where mine's coming from.
Okay. And how long will they be staying with you? Or do you even know how long they'll be staying with you?
No idea.
Okay. So if they weren't there, where do you feel like your stress would be?
Probably everyday life. I would say I probably was like a 2, maybe 3.
Okay. Okay. So it really does have a lot to do with the fact that you have people there that are not in your normal space.
Correct.
Okay. What about you, Angela? Where do you feel like you fall on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 being non-existent to 10 being about to pull your hair out.
About 3.
Okay, that's good. And you, you told me also that you just got a new job recently. So do you feel like there's any stress on the job, or do you feel like that's pretty much at a 3 as well?
I'm actually, like, when I get to work, I actually forget to eat sometimes. That's where my problem is. I forget to eat, and later on, I do eat a bigger meal.
Okay.
But my stress level tends to be like 3 or 4, because I'm not a person. I don't easily get stressed. I usually just kind of work with the flow, but I usually like 3 or 4 when I'm at work.
Okay. So both you and Rachel are around like a 2 or 3, somewhere around that area, and then Shawanda and Andrea, you guys are more closer to the 10. Or Shawanda said that she actually is a 10. Andrea, you have something to add?
Yes, I would agree with what Angela just said. I recently started a new job as well, full time, and it's so busy that even when I pack or bring certain things, I don't get a chance to eat them sometimes, or just, having that chance to stop and drink as much water as I need to. So I'm really working on that as well.
Okay.
And it's wash day, so.
Girl, don't worry about that. We're informal here. Informative, but informal. That's all right. So you feel like you make an effort to prep in advance, but sometimes your job just doesn't allow it because of the tasks that you need to do at work.
Right.
Okay. Well, congrats on your new full-time job, though. That's good news, though. So,
Congrats.
I want to address all of these different challenges, because people, they may have the same goal. They may have the same weight loss goal where they want to lose 10 pounds before January 1st starts, or they might want to lose 50 pounds before January 1st starts. Everybody has a different goal, a different method of getting there. And the reason why it's a different method of getting there is because everybody's lifestyle is different. I've talked to women that travel all the time for work. So they are constantly in the air or on the road. So their way of losing the same 10 to 15 pounds that the person standing next to them, that's a stay-at-home mom, it's going to look differently. And so when I give you guys these tips, think of it in terms of how can you implement it with the way that your lifestyle is set up. That's going to look differently for everybody. And that's one of the reasons when I'm coaching people, it's not a one-size-fits-all, because everybody's life is different. How many of you live in a household with other people that don't necessarily contribute to healthy living? Meaning that they're going out there buying their junk food. They don't necessarily even need to lose weight. They're skinny as a rail. What kind of like home environments do you guys have? Andrea, you can start.
Well, I would say that my husband is supportive when I am focused. He helps and things like that. But it's like when we get off track, we're both off track, and it's hard to get us back on track. Or then he might start with the gym and then I'm not there yet. So it is like we both need to be consistent and on track in order for the wheels to really roll.
Okay. So right now, do you feel like you're both off track?
Yes, I would say so. And I would say so even slightly myself more lately because of this new job. I know I've been comfort eating with sweets and things like that more frequently than I normally do.
Okay. What about you, Rachel? Can you see and hear me still?
Yes. I'm the only one in my household who likes to eat just veggies only. I try not to eat that much meat. So it's really hard to actually try to stay on just no meat diet when I have chicken to cook for my kids and my husband or my sister who's living with me right now. Or they go and get pizza or something like that. So that's my stress for also right now is trying to stay with no meat, and everybody in the household eats meat.
Okay, gotcha. What about you, Shawanda? What do you have to add?
I think for the most part, my husband, I'm not gonna say he's on board with me. Well, he pushes me to do it, but he's not gonna do it. He's still gonna eat his sweets and everything else he eats. So he'd be like, "Oh yeah, you can do it," but he in the background eating his chips or snacking or whatever else he's doing.
Okay.
So,
and which one of you does most of the shopping, the grocery shopping?
yeah, me.
Okay. So the snacks that he wants, he'll usually tell you in advance, "Hey, I want you to make sure that you get this," or you know what he likes, so you normally get them for him at the grocery store. And then do you usually put it up somewhere in like his little special area in the pantry, or is it really accessible for you to get to?
I mean, it's accessible, but the good thing about me is as long as there's no candy in my house, I can go without the cookies, the cakes, the chips, and all that. But if it's candy, that's my weakness.
Okay. All right. And then what about you, Angela? What do you have to add?
And we don't eat a lot of sweets like every night, I think, but I think they get us. Sometimes we get off work late. It's easier for us to go like the fast food restaurant and get something to eat because we don't feel like cooking after work. So that's where I mostly, I do try to stick to a diet, but I mostly, that's just what get me to fast food after getting off from work like 9 or 10 o'clock at night.
Okay. So for you, it's more so a thing of it's not always convenient for you to make a meal because your schedule is set up in such a way that getting the fast food is like your stomach is saying, "Hey, I need something."
Yeah.
So I need to go get something before I fall out. That's your main challenge, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I want you guys to, does everybody have a scrap piece of paper nearby and a pen nearby? You can take just a few of these notes down. If you need the notes, I can always email it to you later. But a lot of times people remember things easier if they're the ones writing it. So does anybody have an opportunity to get a scrap piece of paper? Rachel, you're in the car, so you may or may not have anything. You have anything to write with? You're in the car right after a run at that. So that's okay. If you need me to email these to you, I can email it to you. And you guys will have the replay as well. Since we're recording, you'll have the replay. Long as it actually records. I believe it'll record. Looks like it's recorded just fine now. All right, you guys. So let me just explain just a little bit of why I wanted to do this. My inbox is generally always busy with people asking me different questions about, I want to lose belly fat and I want to regain energy, and I was on such and such diet for 3 days and it didn't work. So I always like to give back and, just share some useful tips that I've learned along the way. I'm 30, I'll be 38 next month in December. And for many people, they look at me and they say, "You don't look like you're a day over 25, And for a lot of people, it's one of those things that they're just so used to seeing people around them that are overly stressed and looking ragged, and they're not used to seeing vibrant people. Now I'm always either in contact with or online or locally around the health and fitness world because I go to the gym often. I follow gym Facebook pages and Instagram pages, you know, so for me to see a healthy, vibrant person is almost normal because I surround my environment with those type of people. But for the majority of people you see walking down the street, let's say you pass by 10 people, 8 to 9 out of 10 of those people are not thinking about living a healthy lifestyle. just to be frank, they're not thinking about a healthy lifestyle. And I think that the way that our society is set up, it's not really conducive to you living a healthy lifestyle either, because everywhere you go is fast food restaurants. There's junk food on just about every grocery store shelf. You go to anybody's party and they're going to have a multitude of cakes and pies and treats and donuts and alcohol. You know, you're not going to somebody's party and they're celebrating, let's eat veggie sticks and drink water. You know, it's going to be foods that are not necessarily going to contribute to weight loss if that's what you're looking to do. Now, when I say that, keep in mind that Americans have a tendency of thinking that healthy eating has to be boring salads day in and day out. When you go to other countries, however, they can eat very healthy foods at a party, and it's not salad. It's not veggie sticks and carrot sticks. So I think that one of the
I just get mama to take me to work today.
Huh? Go ahead, Angela. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought she was saying something. If you notice when you go to other countries,
I get mom to take me to work.
Sorry, Angela, your mute came off. If you go to other countries or you talk to people that are from other countries, you're going to notice that they tend to eat better than Americans without having to always rely on salads. So one of the tricks is to learn how to make foods that are healthy, that are not necessarily your traditional meat, potatoes, and corn. That's how most Americans eat. And because we're so used to throwing on all the gravy and all the extra toppings and all that, we just don't know how to think outside the box to make foods taste flavorful that are still healthy ingredients. If you think about it, think about anybody that you know, or if you've ever visited an Indian restaurant, for example. Many Indians are vegetarians, but when I've gone to some of their parties or I go to their house or their restaurant, their foods as a whole are pretty flavorful, but they're using healthier ingredients. Now, mind you, yes, there are going to be some people that use ingredients that are not healthy. But what I'm saying to you is if you're looking to prepare it in a healthy way, there's ways it can be done and it's still flavorful. If you've noticed over the last few days in my Facebook group, as well as on my personal Facebook business page, I've been sharing different healthy recipes with you guys that you can use alternative ingredients for. So sometimes people will completely discard a recipe because there's a few ingredients in it that they either don't know about or they don't look healthy to them and they're trying to be healthy, so they just don't make it at all. So what I've been doing is sharing different substitutions to make that recipe just as flavorful as if it had unhealthy ingredients in it. So let's get with our first point stemming from that. When you guys are going to some of these holiday parties, keep in mind that you don't always have to eat what they prepare. Now, part of the convenience of going to somebody else's party is the fact that, yay, I don't need to cook tonight. So I'm going to go to their house and grub. But keep in mind, people are always appreciative of you bringing in your own desserts, or you bringing in your own wine or your own drinks or your own appetizer. That's only benefiting them because they don't have to cook as much. So come up with a healthy dish that you can prepare in advance, or some healthy appetizers that you can prepare in advance and take it to the party with you. Because in that way, when you go to the party, you're not sitting there looking at, well, you know, I would eat a little bit better, but all they have available is pork chops and with extra lard and these frog legs over here and this cheesecake is over here. You know, you'll have some other options that are a little healthier if you bring them yourself. They're always going to be appreciative. So learn to prepare your own dish and bring it with you, something that you enjoy. You know, and sometimes people will even ask you, for the recipe, and that's a way of also getting to meet people that are trying to also lose weight but don't know how to do it effectively. I always talk about accountability partners. So let's say that you brought some homemade hummus, okay, just using that as an example. That's a healthier alternative than some salsas that you might see at some parties. So let's just say, let's put this into a actual event. You would bring hummus to the party, and somebody says, "Oh, what's that? How do you make that?" Automatically, you're starting a conversation, a dialogue of how to eat healthier alternatives. So that person says, "Oh, well, can you get me the recipe?" And you exchange numbers or exchange Facebook pages or what have you, and you get each other's information. Now, I'm going to give you guys a statistic. People that are accountable to other people when they're trying to lose weight and exercise are 75% more likely to stick with it. So again, I'm going to say that. If you are accountable to someone else, you're 75% more likely to stick with it. So you just made a friend now at this party just because you brought some healthier hummus alternative. So that leads into dialogue of, do you want to get together and start walking? Like Rachel just came off a walk. So do you want to get together and start walking? Do you want to start hitting the gym starting January 1st? Do you want to exchange healthy recipes that we find on Pinterest or on Google? Those are ways to meet people that may be able to help you further along your journey than you not going out there and actually socializing with people. And the reason why I bring this up is because many times I'll ask people, so who are your accountability partners? And they'll say things like, "Girl, I don't know anybody. Everybody I know, they ain't interested in healthy eating." But they don't take the time to make conversation with people to go in that direction. So something as simple as you bring a healthy snack to someone else's party could be enough for you to spark conversation with somebody that maybe they're also trying to lose weight and they don't have any friends or family either that's been on the same path as them. Okay, there's different ways of socializing with people so that you can seek out people of like mind. Many times people also will say, "Well, I just moved to this area and I don't know anybody," which is, the case for a lot of people. They may not know anybody. When you think about it, when we're in grade school, it's really easy for us to meet people because you all go outside and you play on the playground together. But by the time you hit adulthood, it's not typically as simple to meet people, and especially people that are of like mind trying to lose weight. So that's what I mean when I say take advantage of small opportunities. So are any of you familiar with meetup.com? And if you're not familiar with it, I would strongly encourage you to look it up. Rachel, you're aware of it? Write down meetup.com, because that's one very effective way to meet people that are like mind. Meetup.com is basically a website. You would log on and you can join groups on just about any topic of interest. So let's say that you're interested in beauty, or you're interested in painting, or you're interested in just meeting up with people for game night. Or like what we're talking about now, you're interested in meeting up with people to go walking with or to exchange healthy recipes with. You go on meetup.com and there's some meetup groups on there. I would have never even thought somebody would have came up with such a topic. And if you don't want to join someone else's, let's say you want to lead your own, you can do that as well. But that's one effective way to meet people that are of like mind. The other suggestion I can give you is to go into a Facebook group and just say, "Hey, does anybody live in such a, wherever you're from? Anybody live in such and such area?" Because, and I would say go into a health and wellness or a fitness Facebook group and do this. Usually, if the group is large enough, you're going to meet somebody that's in your area that can also be of support to you. You're going to notice that if you are the type of person that you're interested in health and wellness, typically those people that are in the same group are going to have very similar mindsets, because otherwise they just wouldn't be in a health and fitness group. If they have no interest in health and fitness, why are they in the group? They're not going to join. So just as simple as going into a group and saying, "Hey, I live in such and such area. Does anybody know anybody that could start walking with me or start exchanging healthy recipes with me?" Just start the dialogue going. One of the things I will always say to people is action always beats inaction, meaning you're just sitting there waiting for things to come to you. If you go after what it is that you're looking for, you actively go after meeting people that are of like mind, you're always going to meet them. And that could come at a holiday party. Simple as going to a holiday party, like we just mentioned, and taking their home. Number 2, how many of you sit in traffic to go to work?
I don't.
Who said I don't? Angela?
Yeah.
Okay, anybody sit in traffic to go to work? Andrea, how much traffic are you typically in each day?
Probably at least 45 minutes or 40 minutes to and from sometimes.
So 40 minutes to, and then coming back another 40 minutes from work home.
Yes, just because of the time. The distance, it should only take like 25 to 30 minutes, but because of the time, the commuting time is always heavy traffic.
Okay. What about you, Shawanda? Do you sit in traffic to go to work each day?
You know what? On my way to work, it's smooth sailing. It's the only way on the way home. I'm in at least over an hour.
Over an hour. Okay. And what should the traffic generally be like if you didn't have to worry about bumper traffic?
If it was smooth sailing, I'll be home in probably like 20, 25 minutes.
Okay. And it's usually taking you over an hour because of the traffic. And that's daily, or is it just sporadic? Daily?
Daily. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then what about you, Rachel? Are you normally sitting in traffic, or are you smooth sailing?
Said smooth sailing.
Smooth sailing. Okay. I see you driving now. I don't want you to get in an accident, so please pull over if you need to. All right, so I want to give you guys a little tip. Even if you don't experience traffic going to work, there could be other times that you experience traffic. It could be you go on a trip, and typically people's stress level goes up. So let's say you're going on a trip to go visit family for the holidays, or you're going to the store. You called yourself going 3 miles down the road to go to the grocery store to pick up some dinner, and there's traffic. From about the day after Thanksgiving, which is just in a few days, until the end of the year, just going to your local grocery store, depending on where you live, could be stressful because people are going to be out there buying Christmas gifts. So here's a tip that I could give you, not only for the holiday season, but just for every season that you might be stuck in traffic. Buy yourself or rent or borrow from somebody some audio tapes that are motivational. So if you know of people like Tony Robbins or Les Brown, there's various people out there that have audio tapes that you're going to find that your stress significantly decreases the more that you feed your mind with positive things. So one thing that I shared the other day, I was doing a plank, some of you know, I was doing a plank challenge recently, and I read a little short excerpt out of this book. It's backwards, but it says, "Happy women live better." And it's by Valerie Burton. So what you're going to notice is that when you read things like this, or you listen to audiobooks in the car while you're on your way to work, sitting in traffic, you're gonna start to notice that when different things come your way, different external circumstances come your way that would typically send you from a 1 on the stress scale to a 12, you're gonna find that your ability to handle the stress is significantly increased. And a lot of times people, they get so accustomed to feeling stressed out that they just kind of feel like, well, this is the normal way of life. I should always feel stressed. That's not how we were designed. We weren't designed to be in constant stress mode. So I would suggest looking online, look up just something as simple as motivational speakers. Go onto their website, look and see if they have any audio cassettes that you can just pop in your radio, and that's going to significantly reduce your stress. When you're driving 40 minutes to work, by the time you get to work, many of us, it's kind of like, well, I don't even feel like doing work now. I just sat in traffic for 40 minutes. I'm tired. I've been up for the last 3 hours getting ready. I live in an area where there's not a whole lot of traffic in my immediate area where I need to travel to in the morning. I drop my kids off at school in the morning. There's some traffic getting into their school. And so we talk and we, do other things during that time. But where I used to work, there was more traffic. I work from home now. So I don't experience that. However, there are times when I get into the car and I'm sitting in traffic just to go somewhere on a Saturday that really should be a leisurely event. But I'm sitting in traffic because everybody else wants to be out at the same time. So listening to your favorite music or listening to an audio cassette, you'll find that your mental ability to cope with outside things that come later in the day is significantly increased. Hi, sweetie. He's up in the camera. All right, so that was our second one, to motivate yourself by self-help material, whether that's through books. If you guys want the title of this later, you can just ask me and I'll give this to you. This is a really good book. She even has a quiz. Happy Woman Test. Discover Your Happiness Triggers free quiz. If you guys want to take that, awesome. All right, number 3. Drink water frequently. How many of you do not like water? It seems like every time I bring up water and sleep, people tune me out. They're like, okay, yeah, girl, whatever.
You can add fruit to the water if you don't like water.
Huh? Say that again?
You can, if you don't like water, a good way to start liking water is to add fruit to it. Maybe or blueberry or blackberry or some lemon. I started with lemon.
Yes. How many people drink water now? Andrea, what about you? Do you drink water now?
Yes, I drink water. I like water. And I notice the difference in my body and my lips and everything when I don't have enough. So it just makes a big difference.
Yes. And I think that for many people, sometimes they confuse hunger with thirst. The same mechanism in your brain that tells you that you're hungry is the same mechanism in your brain that tells you that you're thirsty. Sometimes it may be that you're slightly dehydrated. You just need some water, but you're thinking that you're hungry. And so you go and you grab the burger when really your body just needed some water. What about you, Shawana? Are you a water drinker or not? You're still on mute. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I am not a water drinker, even though I know I need to be, because I do see a difference when I start, but seem like I always end up going right back into the habit of not drinking.
No.
Okay. And do you find that you kind of go back into that habit because juice just tastes better to you, or you just kind of get bored with water?
Well, juice tastes better to me, but and I do think I kind of get bored with it, seriously, because I don't know, I like tasting something.
Okay. What about you, Angela?
I like the
Definitely water. This year has been really good because I stopped drinking so many sodas. So drinking water is not a problem. What I do get messed up is, since I'm from the South, I do drink a lot of tea sometimes. So
Okay. Are you only drinking like a green tea, or are you drinking just the standard brown tea?
Any tea I can get my hands on because I'm a tea lover.
Okay, and is it usually piled with sugar?
Sometimes I get the brand called Milo's, and sometimes it comes in a diet version. It's like sweetened with Splenda. Sometimes I get that version.
Okay. So you guys have kind of all said the same thing, that we know that water makes us feel better. It also increases your energy. But what you're going to notice is that you go to a holiday party, and you drink a lot of water before you go, your craving for foods that may be offered at that party will go down. And that's because you're full off of the water. So Rachel came up with a suggestion. If you don't like water, you came up with the fact that you can add fruits to it. Now, you can even add fruits to it the day before, a couple of days prior, and just have it in your refrigerator. So you can add strawberries, cherries, citrusy fruits like oranges or tangerines, for example. You can add grapes if you wanted to. Anything that's gonna give it a flavor that you enjoy. Just have it sit in the water over a couple of days and make sure it's chilled, because sometimes people don't necessarily like room temperature water. I've got room temperature water right here, and I carry this no matter where I go. I could be going to a party or a restaurant or anywhere else where there's going to be food, and I almost always have water with me. And that's because I never want to be thirsty where I'm forced to drink alcohol from home. Not that I don't drink alcohol, but I never want to be forced to drink. I want to drink because I want to drink it. So I don't want to be forced to drink alcohol. I don't want to be forced to drink a sugary juice just because that's all you have available. I don't want to necessarily drink the water at some restaurants because it tastes gross. Like, it's got a bunch of chemicals in it. I'm sure this has got a bunch of chemicals in it too. You know what I'm trying to say. Like, the tap water compared to this is still a difference in taste. So thinking about that during the holidays, and if you guys want to do this with me, we could do this together in my Facebook group. I actually think this will benefit everybody. If you guys want to do something where you do a water challenge and drink a half a gallon a day just to get started, or if we drink a gallon a day just to, help keep each other motivated. I like to drink a lot of water anyway, so I don't mind doing that with you. If you guys want to do that, we could do something like that for the next 5 weeks. And other people, I'm sure, get on board. And what I've seen some people do is they'll like have a gallon of water, and on the outside of it, they'll have marks throughout.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yeah, I've seen.
And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I'll show you a picture of it. But they'll have marks on it throughout the day to keep them going. Hi, sweetie. My daughter's behind. They'll have marks on it throughout the day where they can actually visually measure their progress. So I swear to you guys, if you drink enough water during this holiday season, you're going to find that you're not going to overindulge the same way that if you were dehydrated. You're just going to seem like you're fuller throughout the day. Okay? Like I said, if you guys want to try that, we can do a little challenge throughout the end of the year, water challenge if you want to. All right, number 4. Tawanda talked about how she had some visitors. Okay, now I'm gonna have visitors myself come Wednesday for about a week and a half or 2 weeks. So my normal way of life is going to change a little bit because I'm not used to other people being in my household. And keep this in mind during the holidays, okay? You can't necessarily control the people that are staying with you, but what I'm going to do for myself to make sure that additional stress doesn't affect me is I'm going to make sure I get outside and take a walk. And, if they want to come with me and take a walk, they can take a walk. If they don't want to take a walk, that's fine too. But I'm going to make sure for myself that I'm going to take a walk. I'm going to make sure that I go to the gym and at least get on the elliptical if I don't do anything else. I prefer weightlifting over cardio, but I'm going to make sure I get on the elliptical and get my blood going, because you're going to notice that when you have external stress and you turn to things like food or alcohol to help comfort you, all it does is lead you into the cycle of feeling like crap. So this is how it goes. You gravitate to your comfort food, whatever that may be. That's up here. That's your cakes or pies or what have you. Then you circle down here. You feel good temporarily. All right? You feel good because it tastes good. You taste good. Then you circle down here. You're down here at the bottom now, and you're feeling that lull, like that drain of energy. Okay? So then you say, I feel like crap. And I'm hungry, because if you guys don't know, junk food actually triggers hunger. Your body feels like it still needs some extra nutrients. So your body's telling you, I really need something else to eat now. I'm hungry, but I also am hungry for nutrients as well. But your mind is saying, I'm not hungry for nutrients. I'm hungry for more McDonald's. So whatever the junk food is that initially comforted you up here, okay? So then you're down here, and then you circle back around to up here, and you get that junk food again. And it just continues all around the clock. So through the next 5 to 6 weeks of the holiday season and throughout your year for a lot of people, many times, and I think where you had mentioned this earlier, many times people will turn to the comfort food, but because the comfort food is not actually comforting your cells, and you're in a repetitive cycle of going to the junk food anytime you feel any kind of external stress. So what I encourage you to do is to make time for yourself to feel amazing. So when I say feel amazing, when you get off of this webinar today, just start thinking about what are some hobbies that I really enjoy. That doesn't necessarily have to be going to the gym. Going to the gym for me makes me feel better because I get my endorphins going. I feel better when I exercise. But it could be for you, it could be painting, or it could be gardening, or it could be just going to the movies with your children or a neighbor's child. It could be anything. It doesn't have to be going to the gym. But I'll tell you this, if you always turn to food for that comfort, you're going to keep going around that emotional eating cycle, and it's never going to end, and you're going to keep feeling yourself, beating yourself up, and you're not going anywhere. You're going nowhere fast. Okay? Now, that's not to say not to indulge on anything during the holidays. That's not to say don't indulge on cakes and pies. We're all going to do it. But another recommendation I can give you is to only indulge on the ones that you feel like you like the most. So when I say that, if there's a cake or a pie there that you're just eating it because it's just something sweet, but you're not really crazy wild about it, don't waste your calories on that. Waste it on something that's going to taste delicious to you. So when I go out to eat, I'll give you an example of what I do. When I go out to eat, sometimes I know I want a dessert. But if I look at that dessert menu, or if I go to someone's party and I look at the array of desserts on their table and I say, well, there's nothing really there that I particularly like, I'm not going to get a dessert just for the sake of getting a dessert. I'm only going to get it on something that I know I'm going to enjoy. Because otherwise, then it's just extra calories that I didn't even need. I didn't enjoy it. And I hate when that happens. When I go somewhere and I think the dessert's going to taste good and I taste it and it's crap. I'm like, oh, damn, I could have eaten this over here. It would have tasted better and I would have had a more enjoyable experience. So it's not to say not to eat it. It's focused on what are the things that are going to be the most pleasurable to your taste buds. Okay? So, along those lines, not everybody that invites you to their party, you have to go to. I think I've been invited so far, it's not even Thanksgiving yet, and so far I think I've been invited to about 5 or 6 different events.
Wow.
I'm going to go to all these events. No, I'm not. Thanks for the invitation, but I'm not going. And the reason why I'm not going is because I think that for some of them, when I get there, they won't know the difference of if I was there or not. So when people talk about their stress during the holidays, think about, do you need to show up at everybody's event? And do you need to show up for the amount of time that you would have ordinarily shown up? So say, for instance, Uncle Joe. He's got a holiday event at his house. Typically you're there from 5 p.m. 10 p.m. But you really can't stand Uncle Joe and the rest of the family members. You need to necessarily be there from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. when you could usually be there from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Push those days and have an enjoyable time. And then you didn't have all the extra stress that came with the 3 additional hours that you would have stayed had you not implemented this tip. Because really, when you think about it, people just want to see that you showed up. They're not clocking the minutes of how long you stayed. They want to see that you showed up and that you had an enjoyable time while you were there, and then you go on about it. So when you know that there's family members that you don't particularly get along with, or in your mind you're like, oh, this person over here, I know if I spend 10 minutes with them, I'm going to be in a sour mood. Go find somebody else to spend time with. Say hey and be cordial to that family member or that friend. But go spend some other time with somebody else that you know is going to give you more energy as opposed to draining your energy. You have to be very careful of it being the case where it's family, so you have expectations of what you should do with family. and your mental health. Because if you think about it, spending too much time around the wrong people and not making time for yourself can actually damage that relationship more than if you had said, well, I'm expected to spend hours with you, I'm going to spend hours with you. Taking that little bit of time to yourself, even if it's 30 minutes of time to yourself to regroup and recharge, is more healthy for that relationship than being stuck up in their face for 5, 6, 7 hours straight. So just keep that in mind as you're going through the holidays and it's time to spend time with family and you want to keep control of your panic. It's not always that you have to spend an entire day or an entire weekend around those people for them to feel like that you're caring about them. Lastly, real quickly, how many of you make healthy snacks before you go out on the road? Andrea, what about you? Do you make healthy snacks before you go out on the road? Or before you go anywhere?
Most of the time, no.
House, anybody's house. But no?
Sometimes yes, but I feel that my healthy snacks are like, I'm the youngest sister. I have older sisters, and I feel that they're always like, oh, well, she has her salads or her veggies or, different things like that. And they're like, well, nobody eats it anyway, so why do you keep bringing it or why do you keep making it? And so it's very discouraging. So I really have been a little more to myself because I feel that those who I'm surrounded by are not moving forward. I'm tired of stagnancy.
Okay. So you would like to have more healthy snacks, but it's not always available.
Right, or it's not always welcomed when I bring them around. So it's just like, okay, well, I won't bring them.
I think we lost Rachel there. She might be hopping back on. Okay. So what you just said is very key because remember what I said in the beginning. 8 to 9 out of 10 people that you walk past in the mall or walking down the street are not into anything to do with healthy lifestyle for the most part in this country. Other countries are a little bit different, but in this country, about 8 or 9 out of 10 people are not thinking about healthy lifestyle. So that is key, what you just said right there. And I'm gonna give you a tip in just a minute. Shawanda, what about you? Do you typically keep healthy snacks around and take it with you wherever you go, whether that's to a neighbor's house or to a party or a restaurant or wherever?
No, unfortunately, I do not, which is bad. But for the most part, I try to I'll have a granola bar or something if I know I'm gonna go somewhere and be gone for a little minute. But of course, if I end up being gone longer than anticipated, I end up eating what's available. So I do need to start bringing things with me.
Okay. And what about you, Angela? Do you normally take healthy snacks with you? You said earlier that a lot of times you'll reach for the convenient foods. You'll go to fast food restaurants because that's what's convenient and available to you. Do you ever take snacks,
Sometimes I do. Like one lady, I have sisters who are not interested in eating healthy food. I guess it's crazy because I tried to encourage, and she called to me like, I want to lose weight. I was like, well, I'm trying to lose weight, so let's try something better than, let's try something different. It's like it's difficult because I'm the only person who's interested in eating healthy, or if I bring something, she'd be like, oh, that's nasty. Like, I don't want to eat that. Like carrots and hummus, I hate hummus. Or like peanut butter, I hate peanut butter. So I tried to find a happy medium between everybody. Sometimes I do bring healthy granola balls, like one lady was saying, and sometimes I do try to do bring a piece of fruit with me to work.
Okay. Lately, I've been sharing with you guys different holiday recipes. So you can use some of those as, good healthy snacks for yourself as well. But I have so many other ones. I have so many healthy recipes and snacks. Some of you might have my clean eating guide. I did give some recommendations of resources that you could look to and come up with healthy suggestions. But if you need more than that, I always have snacks available that I can provide you. I would say get in the habit of at least making yourself some trail mix and take it with you wherever you go. And trail mix could be anything. You can have cashew nuts or almonds or whatever your favorite nut is, and mix it with some cranberries or some raisins. And some people's case, they'll ask me, well, what about dried fruit? You got to be careful with dried fruit and even the cranberries and raisins, because they do have a high sugar content. But keep in mind that this is just a snack for when you need it. So that means you're not going to be sitting there eating it all day long, you know. And when you pair the sugar with a healthy fat, the release on the body is different. The absorption on the body is different than if you had just eaten, for example, some gummy bears. So what I'm saying is, if you ate a Snickers that has sugar content, but then you also have the fat or and the protein of the nuts mixed in with it, that absorption is going to be better for you than if you just ate the straight up sugar gummy bear or lollipop or whatever it was that was just pure sugar. So that's why I say eating the dried fruit, pairing that with the almonds or the peanuts or the cashews or walnuts, whatever kind of nut it is that you're pairing it with, will help better as far as you not having that significant rise in sugar and then immediate sugar crash. I say this because there have been times when I go out to eat and the food takes forever to get to me. So you go to a restaurant and you sitting there for an hour and a half to be seated. But you went out with the mindset of, okay, I'm going to save my appetite because I'm going to go out to eat. Why would I eat beforehand? But you're already hungry, and now you're waiting another hour and a half before you eat. It's the same thing with holiday parties. You go and you sit at some people's house sometimes for an hour before the food's even ready, if they're not a punctual person. So that's why I say always having some kind of healthy snack with you in your purse, in your car, wherever you go, is going to significantly decrease your chances of overindulging when you get there. Because you all know, once you get super hungry, what happens? Once you get super hungry, what do?
Eat
Once you start eating again, you like eat it all, right? Everything in sight. You're eating everything in sight, whether it tastes delicious or not. To your taste buds, it tastes delicious because you allowed yourself to get that hungry, right? So that's part of the issue that some people have. They allow themselves to go too long without eating. And you mentioned, Andrea and Angela, you guys mentioned that sometimes at work, you're in a situation where you could, if you wanted to snack on healthy meals, you could, or snacks, you could, but the job itself doesn't allow for that. So in you guys' case, the best tip I could give you is to make sure that you eat a very nutritious breakfast or a lunch prior to going. Because if then you need to snack on quote unquote junk food throughout the day, well, you've eaten a really nutritious energy providing breakfast or lunch, depending on what your shift is. You've eaten a very high quality meal before going. Okay. You guys, one of the things that people will tell me is that, and I think I've mentioned this to a couple of you, and I mention it frequently in my Facebook group. Some people don't get my post right away, so I try to continuously remind people of the different things that I offer to help you guys out. But if you have specific questions for your own unique situation, just reach out to me and let me know. I'm going to end this because I don't want this to go too long for people that are listening to the replay, but you guys hold tight just for a minute. We're going to stop in just a few minutes. Hold tight 1 second. Anybody that's listening to the replay, I really appreciate your time. Thank you very much for participating. If you have questions, send me an email to Ebonie, it's EBONIE, @simplicityhealthstyle.com. All right? Thank you.